here we are at Essen Spiel, Devir's booth, and now we have a really amazing interview here. By my side we have Michael Menzel. Hello,
Hi.
Michael.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Pretty fine.
DevirTV viewers know that Andor is one of my favorite games, and I'm really amazed for that meeting. Andor, it's a great game that Devir has published since the beginning.
Yep.
But it's surprising when people knows that you were not a board game designer. Most of people knew you by your art on board games,
Yeah.
but not designing like rules.
Yeah. The designing of Andor was just a little bit like an accident. I always loved Lord of the Rings, and my son too, and we wanted to play something like that. But we felt that most of the fantasy games are very difficult to learn. We're not very happy with reading rules, and so one day in a holiday we tried to develop our own game, and so I drew the castle and he drew the forest and hero there and there, and so we had those role play elements, but on a very low level, and every holiday we took it with us, and it developed even more and more. And one day I said, okay, I have to show it to a publisher. If they would have said it's stupid, forget it, then I just would have put it away, and no one would have ever seen it again. But they liked it, and then it became really work to develop it. But it was just by accident.
Then your son, I suppose, is little, or he was little.
He was little. He was 9 when we started. Now he's 18. Drove by car to the fair. So it's it took a while to develop everything. Yeah.
How many years?
Yeah, it's about almost 10 years since we started. And in 2010, I showed it to the publisher, and 2 years later, it was published.
And how you created all the world, because Andor it's like a kingdom.
Yeah, that's very important. We found out that to tell a fantasy story, it's very important to have a background story. Just like Tolkien did the Silmarillion in the background of Lord of the Rings. So every time you watch or read Lord of the Rings, you have the feeling there is more, and it's got a deeper story, but he doesn't tell. And that's why I asked my wife to create a story and a story background, and she did more than we needed. And so we just said, okay, let's finish the first part with the dragon, and the rest, maybe if it works well, we can tell later. And so the first part was the original game, but we needed this background story, and that was my wife that created it.
Well, everything stayed in the family.
Yeah, it's a family game. Yeah.
It's a family game, really family game. When you first thought about Andor and the game, always was in your mind that it's going to be a totally cooperative game?
I come from the theme, from the thematically approach, and for me, when a dragon arrives, it had to be cooperative, because if there is still a chance that we can say, okay, there is a dragon, but I want the most victory points, and you are better than me, or I'm better, then this dragon is not really a threat.
Yeah.
But if it's really dangerous, then we have to stay together and have to put everything in we got, and there's no space for elbows and stuff, so it's 100% cooperative.
But I think when Andor came, now it's more usual, but then most games used to have a person that controls the bad guys. Mm-hmm. That wasn't your thought at all?
No, we have the storyteller that moves forward, and he does it by every sundown, every sunrise, but he also does it by one big fights. So the game knows when the heroes are very good, and they come around and throw a lot of six, and they win fights. Then the narrator moves. If it doesn't work so well, he doesn't move. So the game knows exactly more or less exactly where we are and how strong we are. And if we are very good in the beginning, he gives us more trolls, more tasks to do. And there is no game leader needed.
You said that you try to make a kind of role-playing game more easier. I think the game it's easy to get into because you did a great job with the rule book.
Yeah.
Because you had like a kind of tutorial adventure.
Yeah.
That was an idea since the beginning, or when you did the job?
Yeah.
Came.
It was from the beginning because
Yeah.
I don't like reading rules, and I knew that there are so many good role-playing games out there, and if we would have just done the same, it would have been just one of those. But we wanted to be different, and I come from the computer game design, and in computer games it's absolutely usual. You put it in, you can start immediately and do stupid, easy things, but after a while it's getting more and more, and you get more tasks, and you learn more, but while you are playing already. And that's the approach we had with Andor. You do stupid things like go to the well and
Kill everyone.
In the beginning it's just walking, and a friend of mine he asked, what is it? Is that all? And then you get congratulations, you went to the well. Oh, great! So that's it. But that's like the computer games.
Yeah.
Very easy things, but it gets more and more and more. And the last legend of the base game, the dragon, it's a completely adventure, and it has many rules, but you learned it step by step.
Yeah, that's the thing, because not only the game you don't realize, but you are learning a lot of rules by the way while you're playing. But you as a designer, you had to have a lot of things in mind that can connect and do every game different. Well, I think you had a whole job there.
Yeah. It was the idea of the editor. When I showed him the game, it was just the dragon, and we as heroes had to get stronger while the dragon comes nearer and nearer. And he liked it very much, but he said, okay, but one time wouldn't it be great to have just a big troll as an opponent, or wouldn't it be great to have another creature or whatever? And so he had the ideas of different legends.
Okay.
And that was a completely changed, because that was much more work, but it was much more story to tell, and I think one of the most important ideas. And it's very important, I think, to have a good editor, a strong editor who's with you and can help you develop ideas.
And then you did plenty of expansions. There is a expansion of the first base game, but also there's a second big box, and now here in Essen it's the third one. How you manage to do these expansions?
Yeah, that's a funny thing. When my wife developed the story in the beginning, it was too much, and so we stopped with the dragon. But we knew it would be great to have them in the north, the second part of the story, and it would be great if we go really back to the place where we come from, Catan, the evil place, and we go back there. So to give a circle, to have the real end of the story. But if it hasn't been successful, it would have been just the dragon and a good end. But we're very happy to tell the whole story. And but actually, I think that's it. That's the end of the story.
The end.
Yeah.
Then no more Andor, probably.
Probably, I'm not sure what the publisher will develop. Maybe there will be some untold stories, whatever. But for me, the main thing is done.
It's done.
And I'm a little bit happy about it, because it's not really pressure, but you knew all the time you have to finish it, and you want to make it really, really good. And now I think it is really good. It's a very huge ending. We have a double value of cards in there, so it's 7 legends. It's a lot of story. And
How many legends, sorry?
7. So in the base game it was 5. Journey in the North was 4, and this is really huge, more cards. And so there was this pressure to make it really good, and now I'm relieved, you know, I did it, and now it's, yeah, hope you have fun to play it.
What things can you say about this third story?
It's the heroes come back from the north,
Okay.
and Andor is not very well. Many people have been stolen by bad creatures, and they took them into their land to make them slaves. And we have to free those people. And we go into the mountains, and it's there's nothing to eat, and we have to have some sort of food every day. We have new elements, new creatures, skeletons that not go to the castle. They hunt the heroes. They just like zombies, you know. They grab you and hold you. You get to defeat them, but every day they stand up again, and
Wow.
so yeah, it's kind of spooky to play. And yeah, and the heroes, they developed, they got stronger, older, they have more talents. They can. The wizard has many spells, new spells, and so we get better, but the tasks get tougher too. And in the end, it's the backside of the board. It's the last legend, Legend 17, and yeah, that's the big final chapter.
Then this game, maybe it's a bit more complex than the first ones.
I wouldn't say so. It's it's still, you know, it's easy to learn, but hard to win. But we started to since Starshield to have 2 different difficulties. Just in a computer game,
Okay.
where you can say, okay, play easy or play difficult,
Play hard.
and you can play it more easy if you like. But I would say from the difficulty, it's not more than the dragon or whatever. It's, you know, it's doable, but it's an adventure, and you really got to be a good group to win. Yeah.
Really good. I can't wait for playing it. And also, you said that it's a standalone expansion, not
Yeah.
like the
Journey into the North.
Journey of the
Yeah,
North.
yeah. It's you have all the material in there, and you have a quick start manual again, so that you, if you don't have every rule in mind, it's no problem. It starts again. But even the first legend, it's easy to learn, but it's hard to win. So yeah, but you don't need any other material, and actually you could start even with the third part. Everybody will start with the base game, but you could. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. When people ask me sometimes to talk a little bit about Andor, for me it's a really difficult game to label. You know.
Okay.
I don't know if you agree, but for me, you took like the role-playing, adventure-playing kind of board game, but has a really Euro German
Yeah.
board game flavor.
Yeah.
It's a great mix between these 2 schools. I
Yeah.
think they can. It's a game that can like very much to any of these.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
I would absolutely agree, and what we found out is that we get a lot of people to play Andor who actually don't play board games. So it's very different from many other games, and it's a very good starter for a lot of people to start with Andor. Then it was your intention to mix these two kind of...
Actually, we didn't intend to publish it in any way. We just wanted to make a game that fits for us, and I guess that's one of the reasons why it feels so fresh. Because I didn't thought about a very clever mechanism to fight or so. It's fighting with dice. You know, you have seen it in 1,000 games before. So, but I didn't think about how to do it different, because it was just for us, just for holidays. And so the target group was always us, and this is completely our taste. And and some more people liked it. But yeah.
And the game is designed by you, but also the art is yours and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Well, how you feel making these two things of your game.
yeah. Actually, it wasn't. It wasn't like I said, okay, but I need to really illustrate this. The publisher asked me to do it, so it could have been someone else. It would be okay for me. But you know, one thing about Andor is that the graphics and the mechanics work very well together. The potion of the witch, for example, which is full on the first side, and you can use it one time, then it's half full, and then it's gone. You know, it's not mathematics or whatever. The tile has two sides, and that's why I think like a graphic assistant, and and that's why I did it like
all
that.
in one.
Yeah, yeah, and or you design the board, and as the author, I know this field's got to be a bit bigger because there will be an end fight. So it's got that's. No one would brief that, you know, for the illustrator. So, but the author and the illustrator have very close, are very close, and know what the other one wants. So, yeah, that's one thing about Andor, that graphic and mechanism work very, very well together, very close. Yeah.
That's delicious
Yeah.
for the people who play. We had another release that was Andor also, but was not designed by you. Was Catan.
Yeah.
We had lots of fun playing it. How was that story?
That was great for me. Actually, I still see myself as an illustrator, and I wanted to have a card game, a two-player card game, because I love to play it, but I wasn't capable. I wasn't capable of thinking of a new mechanism, and we didn't just wanted to say, okay, we want a small Andor, just let these things away and just have a small box. I wanted to have a new mechanism, a new story, and Gerhard Hecht did this great mechanism of cards that you have to have in line and put at the end, and you're hoping they come back again soon, and you have to play them, and that worked so well. And so I just, with my wife, told the story, and that it fits very well into the storyline. I did the illustrations, but he did the game, and that was very good because I wasn't capable and had no idea what to do, and so it was good to outsource. Yeah.
Okay. There are more games to come from you?
No, I'm really an illustrator, and that was just an accident.
You're done.
Maybe if there would be the feeling with Andor again, that I would like to play it, but there isn't a game like this, then maybe I would do it. But actually, I'm so happy with illustrating, and I have great games in line for the next fair, and I'm just happy with that.
Well, for me, you did a piece of art, but I'm okay that if that's a good thing for you, and
Yeah.
it's enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have Andor for ages.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Michael.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Benjamin.
And have a nice fair.
Thank you very much. You too. Bye.